All right, folks, welcome back. This is JE Live. I am Jake Ellenbogen, and this is, I'm glad to say, the last preseason game of the year. It's the last post game until the regular season because I like doing regular season post games way more. No offense. Obviously, I know preseason's a big deal. I would tell you it's a big deal, and there are a lot that I've actually really enjoyed about it. Today, it really felt like a job watching it. So, welcome in. Hope everyone is doing well. That was a doozy. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the other things that coincide with that. It's just, we'll be talking about more than just the game today. Before we do, just a quick word from our sponsor. And that, of course, is BetUS, which is the sports book that you should be checking out right now because I actually have it over right now. Fun fact, I did actually make some money off that last bet there with the Rams and Texans game. I took the under and I took the Rams +6. So I'm very confident the next one will be the Rams against the Lions. And I'll tell you guys right now, this +3.5, I mean, that's a no-brainer, I think. And I think this game is going over 51. So I'll take that, and let's throw 50 on it, or 60. I guess I did 60 by accident. And, I guess I'm bad. Forgot to put in that it was a parlay. So, yeah, let's do that. And let's put 60. And there we go. So you guys can put your money where your mouth is if you think that the Rams are going to beat the Lions like I do. Although I guess I put it +3.5 because that's like, come on. You're giving the Rams more than a field goal. Yeah, if you want to get in on that, definitely head on over to BetUS. The promo link is in the description and the comments section below. So you can go and check out BetUS, and that will get you 125% match on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. So special thanks to BetUS for sponsoring the channel and sponsoring this live stream. All right, guys. The main course here is not even the game. It's the fact that Les Snead went on the broadcast and basically told us straight up that Omar Spates, who's become a fan favorite, we always have those in preseason. That's the way preseason is. Omar Spates is going to not only make this roster, not only make the 53, he'll be on the 48. And because he'll be on the 48, and what he means by that is he is going to be playing Sunday night against the Lions in the game that I just showed you. So number 48, Omar Spates, congratulations to him. We're going to be talking about it because I want to do some investigating. I want to get to the bottom of this. Not going to drop my projections yet. We'll do those either Sunday or Monday. So that will be the last 53-man roster projection. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Bleacher Report, I am scheduled on Tuesday. I am scheduled to give my thoughts on the 53-man roster. So we'll be on Bleacher Report first, and then we'll come over here and do a live stream on the roster afterwards. Call-ins will not happen until after the week 1 game against the Lions, okay? But call-ins will be coming back. They will be limited because I am well aware that we continue to grow. And I know that we have a lot of people. We almost have 1,000 people. We had 1,000 people. Almost have 1,000 people in our Discord, okay? So I can't guarantee that I'm going to get to everybody. I would love to, but I have to understand that, and it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have, folks. This channel's growing. It continues to grow. You guys come out in full force supporting this channel and myself, and so I have to be, well aware of the fact that I'm not going to be able to sit here for 5 hours and talk to everybody. As much as I'd like to do that, we'll not be able to do that. So, yeah. But anyway, let's get started because I wanted to point out some things. So right now, haven't finalized my 53-man roster yet. Just want to let you guys know that because I know people are going to ask, hey, who do you have making the 53? Haven't fully finalized it. As you know, I had Spates making the 53 last week. I am very curious to see the snap counts because I did not see Tyler Johnson. Totally missed him. Did not see him play, but I was told on Twitter that he did play. Okay, so I am trying to figure that out. We'll get the snap counts, I believe, tomorrow. So that'll be great because Xavier Smith played the majority of this game. And I want to, Tyler, thank you so much. Everyone in the chat, drop a W in the chat for Tyler Story, who just gifted 5 memberships on my channel. Really appreciate that. We're overhauling memberships too. I'll have more information on that in probably the next live stream. So big W there to Tyler. Really appreciate the support on the channel. And all of you guys. I mean, it's always a blast going live with you guys. I miss this. Obviously, you know, there's a little fire. There's a little flare. It's fun during the off season. But unless it's the draft or free agency, it's not really as potent as when football is being played. So that's when it really takes off, and really excited about that. So look, guys, let's get back to the wide receiver. Let's go through each position. I'm not going to give you a 53 because I don't have a locked in 53. I'm going to save that for the next video, the 53-man roster video. But I want to talk about, you know, take it from the top. You know how we do it. We talk about every position every single time. We always go through the depth chart. So let's start off with quarterback. Okay. So quarterback, obviously Matthew Stafford is locked in, but I thought Stetson Bennett, by not playing today, could not be any more locked into the roster. He is making this roster, and I'll be honest, and I will somewhat apologize to Stetson Bennett. That game was nowhere near as fun as when Bennett quarterbacks a game. I may have issues with Bennett in what he does and his decision-making, but make no mistake about it, he can play quarterback in this league. Okay, he can make plays, and that was what was missing today. When you don't, it's almost like you don't quite understand what you have until it's gone. And Dresser Wynn was just not making plays. Was very, in my opinion, very conservative with the way he threw the football. When he, you know, threw it deep down the field, it was a giant overthrow. So you have to, of course, you know, give Bennett credit because he's made some big time throws that, you know, I don't think he really gets enough credit for. I mean, I've never discounted his ability. As a matter of fact, there is a YouTube short on this channel when I did those minute-long breakdowns of prospects. I gave Bennett a lot of praise. I said he was way better on film than I thought. You know, the preconceived notion with him was that, oh, he's just a college quarterback. But yeah, no, I think I missed him today because I just don't think it was as fun of a game. It was definitely a boring game, guys. I'm not going to lie. It felt like a job, but, you know, I'm the luckiest man alive because this is my job. My job is to talk about football for a living. And now, I mean, I also talk about baseball because I talk about the Yankees. If any of you are Yankees fans, the Yankees Unloaded page is on my channel. It's just, you know, it's not like promoted, but it's there if you ever want to check that out. But Steven, thank you so much for the 10. Really appreciate you. Win gotta go. Also, Jake is the GOAT. Really appreciate you, Steven. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate that. So Stetson Bennett's making this team. Dresser Wynn is not. Dresser Wynn might be on the practice squad. I don't know, to be honest with you. But we just saw what happens when you don't have a Stetson Bennett or Matthew Stafford, even Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. I don't want to dunk on Dresser Wynn. He rarely ever gets a chance to play. But, I mean, let's call it like it is. You know, give Bennett some credit. The last 2 games, it might not have been the best, but he's made some throws. He's made it possible for guys like Jordan Whittington to be evaluated. He's made it possible for guys like Xavier Smith to be evaluated, when in the past, you know, only really a guy like, in my opinion, a Bryce Perkins or a John Wolford has really done that. That's the issue with preseason, especially wide receivers. Sometimes you're only as good as your quarterback. Sometimes you only get the opportunities that your quarterback is going to give you. And so, I think that's kind of the unfortunate thing, but I think that's something that we can't just, push aside and take for granted. And that's something I've learned today. I can also be critical of Stetson Bennett. He has issues. He needs to work on some certain things. And, I think he sees the field. He processes the field slower than he needs to. He also missed an entire year. Whether that was his fault or not does not matter. He did miss an entire year. But look, I missed Bennett today. I'm just going to say that right now. Missed Stetson Bennett. Let's move on to the running backs. No idea what to think about the running backs after Williams, Corum, and Rivers. They're locked in. Boston Scott and Zach Evans did not run well today. Zach Evans finished with 2 touchdowns, but neither really took over, right? And so Boston Scott, the fact that he played as much as he did, he had 11 carries in this game. I was a little concerned as somebody that likes him, wants him to make the 53. I don't know if it's a guarantee. If you're reading really into the playing time, I mean, he's at least, there's at least up in the air, right? Evans got opportunities. Rodrigue, got some opportunities as well. Now, I never thought he was going to make the team. He was just somebody that was signed to play this week. Basically, he got paid to play preseason game and put some tape out there. So, that's not a bad trade-off, in my opinion. It shouldn't be considered a bad trade-off in anyone's opinion. But, I think when you look at this game against the Texans, I mean, seeing all those running backs get work, and obviously Sir Roderick Thompson only got 3 carries, but Zach Evans got 14. I don't think he's making the team, and I didn't think so last week either. Boston Scott got 11. I thought he was making the team up until this week. Now I'm kind of up in the air. He's kind of on the borderline for me, so I don't know for sure. Wide receivers, we saw, like I mentioned earlier, Xavier Thomas, and people are telling me Tyler Johnson played. I didn't see him. Did not at all see him, so I'm just being honest. I kind of feel like if he didn't play, then he's a lock. But if he did play even a little bit, I would say Xavier Smith. Now, mind you, people are worried about Xavier Smith playing. Is he going to make the team because he played? I will say this, okay? Xavier Smith did not really get any reps last year. Let's not forget about that. He rarely got any opportunities to show what he could do last year. So I wouldn't necessarily rule it out as, Xavier Smith played the majority of this preseason game. He's done. I would look at it as more as when is he going to get these opportunities, and the Rams like him, so they figured let's get him some wide receiver reps. And I have no issue with that if that's what it was, but I would have an issue cutting Xavier Smith. I think he really needs to be on this team. He's the best option at punt returner, in my opinion. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Dave, I have to disagree there. I don't think there's any chance Smith is taking away Tutu's job. He is as locked in as can be. They're very excited about him this year. And I think there's a chance Tutu will place himself into another contract, whether it be a smaller deal or not. That is so obnoxious. I have a giant horse fly that you can hear the buzzing of the wings. It's the most obnoxious thing ever. I mean, I guess a bee would be pretty obnoxious, but it is a horse fly. So yeah. Sorry if you see that in the camera or you hear it in the back. That's why, because their wings have to sound like a jet engine. I have no idea why. Tight ends. Hunter Long did not play today, so I would assume he's a lock. I don't really understand. I don't think he's one of the they are annoying, Jack. I don't think he's one of the best 53, but I know they needed another tight end, and they didn't really give Miller Forrestall or Kalinich a chance to make this team. So, there's that. Maybe those guys go back on the practice squad. Offensive line. So today, today we found out that, just based on who they played, Logan Bruss is a lock. He didn't play today, right? We already knew because he came out early on in the game. Warren McClendon Jr. did not play today. Oh, and by the way, Bo Limmer did not play today. So You had those 3 guys out of the main starters for the preseason that did not play today, but we did see Zach Thomas and AJ Arcuri. So Arcuri has a shot to make this team. I am not against giving him reps because I think he needs it, but he has a shot to make this team and replace Alec Jackson. There's a chance that they don't keep 10 guys or 11 guys. Maybe they keep 8. Maybe they keep 9. We don't really know how many guys they're going to keep on the offensive line. We don't know what their roster math is. In the past, they've kept 9 to 10. In the past, they've also kept 3 linebackers, and they told us today, and I'm jumping the gun here, but they told us today basically without telling us, they told us at least on Omar Spates, they're keeping 5 because Hummel and Spates are probably going to make this team. So, offensive line, where are we on that? Take a break real quick on that. Dominic, thank you so much for the 5. Can't wait to spank the Lions. Also can't wait for those regular season videos. Your content is like coffee in the morning. P.S. Make me an admin. So, Dominic, are you not even... are you not a mod? Drop a comment, and Tyler's going to be a mod too because Tyler just donated. So, that actually gave 5 memberships out. So yeah, I have no issue making you a moderator. Just don't abuse it. And I could see like what people do as moderators, so I could see if you're abusing it. But yeah, drop a comment and then I'll just click on your name and make you a mod, Dominic. Okay. You've been watching forever but never commented. That's why. Boom. There you go. All right. So going back to that. And again, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate you. I'm really looking forward to it too. And the comment that you made about it's like coffee in the morning, that is a super nice thing to say. So offensive line, Bruss makes it, you know, obviously Bo Limmer and Warren McClendon Jr. Where are we on Zach Thomas? Are we concerned that he played? I don't think he played that long. I think Zach Thomas still makes it. I don't know about Arcuri. I don't know. So that remains to be seen. We'll see what ends up happening there. And then the defensive line, Carlos Watkins played today, but no Tyler Davis and no Desjuan Johnson. Did anyone see? I didn't see him, but did anyone see? What's his face? Laryl Murchison? Because I did not see him play today. He's not in the stat sheet, and of course, I don't have access to the snap counts until tomorrow, like everyone else. I like Watkins too, but the fact that he played today, I don't know. Might not make the team. We know the obvious guys, Turner, Brown, Fisk, Desjuan Johnson, Tyler Davis are guys that didn't play today. So, you know, we'll see. Edge, Verse, Byron Young, Michael Hoyt have not played at all in preseason. They held out Nick Hampton today. That's a signal he's made the team. They did not hold out Brennan Jackson. And I'm going to get to opinion on Leviston. I see that in the comment section. And I'm going to get to what about Brennan Jackson? Those 2 things. Let's start with Leviston, okay? Leviston, I think, goes on PUP list. I don't think he makes the team. He hasn't been healthy. He has gotten no playing time. So if they really like what they see, then sure, I guess he'd be on the 53. But if they really feel like he needs some time, then I think he goes on the physically unable to perform list. Now, on the Brennan Jackson front, you know, people get concerned when guys play the last preseason game of the year. It's almost kind of like a sign that the guy's not going to make it. And that's not always the case. Most of the time it is, but not always. Brennan Jackson, that's not the case. Brennan Jackson missed the first 2 games because he's injured, right? So this 3rd game was him getting his feet wet in an NFL game, regardless of regular season or preseason. So I see no issue with getting him in there and having him play this game. None whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I like it. I like that he got some reps. Is he going to be active on game days? Who knows? I think he could. But I definitely think he's going to be on the 53-man roster. No need to worry about him. Very much not concerned at all about his roster well-being. Now, linebacker, like I said, in the past with Aaron Donald, they thought they could keep 3. It worked. Well, now they have to change things. And we've heard that before. We've heard Sean McVay mention that. We've heard it plenty of times. Sometimes guys have to change what they're doing, okay? And the reality of it is that the Rams have been using that roster math of 3 linebackers skating by because they don't use the linebackers the way other teams do. Well, now without Aaron Donald, they're probably going to change things up a little bit. So I like them keeping 5, and I think that's what they're ultimately going to do. I thought Elias Neal had a good day at the office. I thought Olakunle Fatukasi had a good day at the office. I'll go as far as to say I think Fatukasi had a roster spot locked in, and then Omar Spates jumped out of nowhere and really just blew by him and had himself just kind of he was great in camp because we heard that. We heard he was great in camp, and we heard he was, we saw him in preseason. So, I think that's really what it came down to. That's why he missed out on that spot. At corner, this is where it gets interesting. When you talk about, us doing some research and everything and trying to get to the bottom of things, well, why the hell did Josh Wallace, UDFA out of Michigan, and Charles Woods, UDFA out of SMU, not play? We already heard that Spates made the team. Snead told us that. He told us he's going to be active Sunday on, opening night, week 1 against the Lions. But what about Josh Wallace and Charles Woods? And remember what I've said in my last few videos. I've said I don't think Trey Tomlinson makes this roster. I don't. And he was playing late in this game with some other guys like Cameron Lampkin. Okay, so not sure how to feel about that because I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I still believe the Rams need a Kello Witherspoon, a guy that understands this defense. He has familiarity with the organization. He wants to be there. He knows what it takes to win, and he started 18 games for them last year. Can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. Okay, good tackler. He has an unorthodox style of football, so people think he's lazy. I've seen that. Well, he's not a hard-hitting guy. He's not a textbook tackler. That's not true. He just plays things differently. He's a long strider as well, so it looks like he's getting burned, but he's basically sticking to the hip pocket of the receiver, and then he knows he has the length and the long arms, the wingspan, to bat away a pass or come down with it. So my thing is, I think they need Kello. I've said that for a while. I am very curious what they do at cornerback. I wouldn't be surprised if they only kept 3 corners. I also wouldn't be surprised if Josh Wallace and Charles Woods end up on this team. As of right now, I have no idea what they're going to do at corner. None. Absolutely none. Darius Williams, Tre'Davious White, and Kobe Durant. If Kobe Durant has the season that Sean McVay has been propping up for Kobe Durant, then this cornerback room could be really good, but I still think they need Kello for the depth. And I'll say this, I still think Kello's a better cornerback than Tre'Davious White, because I think White coming off a torn Achilles and a torn ACL, I think it's definitely fair to, be concerned about the availability there. And I think Darius Williams, who was one of the best corners, according to PFF, the first half of last year with the Jaguars, did not look great in the second half. So if he has another one of those really great in the first half, bad in the second half, well, it's going to hurt the Rams. So hopefully those guys are as good as the names indicate, and Kobe Durant picks up where he left off back in his rookie year, and then Josh Wallace and Charles Woods, you keep them both, and then you cut one of them when Tyler Higbee comes back, or Jimmy Garoppolo, or Alaric Jackson, because you're going to have to make 3 moves. And when you make those moves, now you're making them in a point where if you cut Josh Wallace and Charles Woods now, again, it goes back to my point. These teams have scouted these guys. There's probably a lot of teams out there that tried to get Josh Wallace in undrafted rookie free agency. There's probably a lot of teams, same thing with Charles Woods. So if you wait to the point where preseason is stale in the mind, okay, where you're not thinking about what that guy just did, because preseason, guys, that is the worst time to release somebody that you can wait later on, release them, and they're not going to get picked up. But it's the Lance McCutcheon effect. Remember Lance McCutcheon, how good he was in preseason for the Rams? The Rams had no choice but to keep him on their roster, because if they cut him after the preseason he had, someone would have picked him up. But now the way it works is you can manipulate time in a sense, because if you just say, we're going to keep him on the roster, he's not going to be an active participant, he's just there to hold on to, and then we can cut at some point, put him on the practice squad. You do that later on. Teams aren't thinking about what a guy did in preseason. They're thinking about a Super Bowl. They're thinking about the path to the Super Bowl. They're thinking about the regular season. They're thinking about game planning. They're not thinking about what a guy did in week 3 or week 2 of the preseason. And so that is why the Rams are going to have to make those decisions. Who do you think they can go through? Who do you think that they can afford, essentially? God, this fly is really obnoxious, man. Like, what the hell? Essentially, if you are, if you're the Rams, who are some guys that aren't necessarily good enough to play for your team right now on the 53, but did well enough in preseason that won't make it through that roster cut down? A team will claim them. Who is good enough? Because those are the guys that you kind of have to try to find a roster spot to keep, and then maybe you can drop them after week 2 or week 3 when no one's thinking about them. Because I can tell you right now, Omar Spates would probably have 20 claims on him if he was cut right now. But if Omar Spates was cut in week 8, do you think anybody is going to remember what he did in preseason? No. No one is going to remember what he did in preseason. It's that simple. So that's how I would look at it. That's how we should look at it. Will Josh Wallace and Charles Woods make the team? I don't know. I can tell you, though, they did not play. And we move on to the safeties. And obviously, Cameron Curl, Quentin Lake, John Johnson III, and Cameron Kinchins, who only played one preseason game, they did not play, the rest or whatever. Jalen McCullough and Russ Yeast did not play today. Okay? Russ Yeast should be locked in, and I think that would be an argument. You can bring Yeast, and he can play corner. So you have some positional flexibility there. Maybe they keep one of Josh Wallace and Charles Woods. Maybe one of those guys that they're not going to keep. They did not want them going into preseason, balling out, and then being able to sign somewhere else, or being able to get claimed somewhere else. So there was probably a defensive measure there in place, so they didn't lose both those guys. Maybe it's more likely than not Josh Wallace and Charles Woods aren't both going to make the 53. But it is worth mentioning. So McCullough and Russ Yeast not playing today is very intriguing. Do you think? I mean, it could be that they look at Russ Yeast is going to make this team, so they have 5 safeties, and then McCullough isn't going to make this team, and they just didn't want him to go out there and ball out and make it harder and harder and harder to cut him and then bring him back on the practice squad. I don't know. But what you need to remember is this. Guys, when someone is cut, if you are worried about another team claiming them, they have to claim them, and they can't just put them on the practice squad. When they claim them, they have to use one of their 53-man roster spots to house that player. So it's not as simple as just, that guy got cut, I want him, I take him, I put him on practice squad. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So that's just something I wanted to point out. And I think was important to point out because not everybody knows that. I know a lot of you guys do. I mean, football fans are very well informed at this point in the game. And I think the reason being is because while I think the NFL does a poor job in areas, they do a great job in other areas. And I think this is one of those areas where you have a lot of people that are well informed about the NFL because it's something that is covered all year round, unlike other sports. I mean, baseball, no one even knows when their free agency ends. Free agency doesn't really have a period. It's just winter meetings. And, most of the time, the big ticket items, they don't sign until the spring training or after, or, during the regular season. It's so different. But I just wanted to point out something. Shout out to Jordan Rodrigue. You could check it out over on The Athletic. She just released the 53-man roster projection that she had. We'll go over it real quick here. So, quarterback, she had 2, Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett. Offensive line, she has them keeping 9. Alec Jackson is not, he's suspended, so it doesn't count. Just same thing with Garoppolo. But she has them keeping Jonah Jackson, Steve Avila, Kevin Dotson, Rob Havenstein, Joe Noteboom, Warren McClendon Jr., Bo Limmer, Logan Bruss, Zach Thomas. So that's intriguing there. Because, it's no AJ Curie or Connor McDermott, so they don't keep another tackle in place. She has them keeping three running backs, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, and Ronnie Rivers, which is kind of where I was leaning. She has them keeping 7 receivers, Tyler Johnson, Xavier Smith. She has them keeping 3 tight ends, Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, Hunter Long. 6 defensive linemen, Carlos Watkins, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Bobby Brown III, Tyler Davis, and Desjuan Johnson. Okay, so it looks like Watkins actually was signed because Laryl Murchison had an arm injury, which is why he did not play today. And Corey Durden, she thinks, could take his spot. Inside linebacker, she has 4 inside linebackers instead of 5. So Ernest Jones, Christian Roseboom, Omar Spates, and Jake Hummel. So no Troy Reeder, but Troy Reeder would be able to be brought in the practice squad as part of that expanded veteran practice squad now that they added. Outside linebacker, she has 5 verse Young, Hoyt, Brendan Jackson, Nick Hampton. Safety, she has 6. She's got Cam Curl, Cam Kitchens, Quentin Lake, John Johnson, Jalen McCullough, Russ Yeast. And last but not least, cornerback, she has 5 corners. She has Josh Wallace and Charles Woods making it. So that's interesting. Trey Tomlinson appeared to hurt his arm/shoulder in Saturday's preseason game, but she wasn't of the opinion that he had secured a spot on the 53-man roster anyway. So, yeah, that's interesting. Wallace and Woods, in my view, have set themselves apart in the competition. Neither played in Saturday's preseason game. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see. We will see. This is it's fascinating. It is a fascinating thing because I don't remember this many UDFAs not playing in a third preseason game like this. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll probably drop my 53-man roster tomorrow. Probably record it tonight, drop it tomorrow, lock it in. That's probably what I'll do. But yeah, what do you guys think? Definitely be sure to give her, some love over there on The Athletic. I wasn't trying to take over her article. I want you guys to actually read her article, support Jordan Rodrigue. She does a great job. But it just came out, so I figured I'd read it out and give my thoughts. I think it's very similar to what I'm kind of leaning, but I'll have my final one tomorrow. Because, yeah, I need to just get it out tomorrow. Because Monday it might be a little too late. So, I thought Neil had a good game, too. I agree with that. Yeah, smash the like button if you can. We got 66 likes. We have 246 people in here. There's a continuity issue. That's way more people viewing than people that are liking. I'm kidding, though. I did not talk about Cardi. So I'm not concerned at all about Cardi. I think he's looked pretty good. Yes, he missed an extra point. He's still a rookie. He's going to have these misses. I'd rather have them happen when, things don't count. That's as simple as I'll make that. I mean, when football doesn't count, this is the time to miss field goals and all that. But he's done a nice job. I believe that. So you were at the game, Germ? Yeah, I can imagine it was pretty boring. How about Cam Akers, though? He looked explosive. Good for him. I know on this channel I was really negative towards Cam. I even got a few emails from people telling me that I was negative towards Cam. People, not just you guys, people that know Cam. But yeah, I had some people that called me out about it, said I was way too negative about it and borderline unprofessional. And maybe that was true. I mean, I've learned, I've grown. I learn every single year. I learn something new. But I want to make this clear. No matter how I've ever felt about Cam Akers, because initially I really liked him and I went to bat for him. But some of the things I heard I didn't like. I didn't like how he gave up on the team. And I think that's fair. But he's also a human being. And I will never, ever, ever root against somebody in a way where I want them to suffer injuries or anything like that. So Cam Akers coming back from his second Achilles tear, that is really, I mean, a lot of respect is due there. And I'm very impressed with him. And I hope he gets a significant role this year with Houston, because I think he could help that team out. And I would really like to see, things really work out for him, because, I think he's a genuinely good dude. I think he went through kind of a rough time where he was anointed as the number one running back ahead of Darrell Henderson when they drafted him. They acted like he was, I mean, you remember, he had the Achilles tear, but you remember the first unveiling of these uniforms they wore today. They had that thing with Marshall Faulk and Steven Jackson and Eric Dickerson kind of passing the literal torch over to Cam Akers. So there was a lot of hype around Akers, a lot. And the Rams really, I don't even think they gave him a chance to kind of, I guess, process it. They just threw him in there. Like, yeah, even though you're a second round pick, not like the fourth overall pick like Ezekiel Elliott, we're going to treat you like you are the heir to Todd Gurley's throne. And so I think he saw you saw some good things out of him. And obviously he had the 171-yard, game against the Patriots. But I think, ultimately when Kyren Williams came into the building, he worked harder. He was better at pass protection and other things that, Akers struggled at. And I just think it hit him in the mouth. I don't think he was really understanding, and I don't think he was ready to lose his starting role to a fifth-round pick in Kyren Williams. I just don't think he saw that to be a thing. And so, I wish him the best. I have no ill will towards him at all. And I thought he looked really good today. So hopefully, he ends up beating out Dameon Pierce and gets that second running back role behind Joe Mixon. And he has a nice career, because that's a really fascinating story. And it's a story of perseverance, because this is a guy that's 25 years old. He's 25, right? And he just came back from his second Achilles tear, and he's already in preseason doing what he's doing. So big shout out to Cam Akers. Hopefully he can stay healthy, because I think he could have a good career. I think he's learned a lot. He's still young. So, I wish him the best. And I want to give a shout out to the Texans, because I heard great things about the Texans. They had a joint practice with the Rams. And as you know, the Rams and Cowboys, they had a guy, Huggins, I think it was Albert Huggins of the Cowboys, totally decked an intern. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a Rams intern that got completely crunched, just completely shoved by a defensive lineman on the Cowboys. And there was a lot of punching and there was a lot of with the Cowboys. I heard that they were productive, but it wasn't the most productive joint practice. And so all I heard were great things about the Texans. And unfortunately, I heard most of the Texans broadcast today, because the Rams broadcast was not airing where I was watching. But the Texans broadcast just kept talking the Rams up. And they're like, yeah, they were great partners for the Texans, because the ultimate goal of a joint practice is for both teams to get better, And so I thought that was really cool, and obviously I'm not surprised, because I think D'Amico Ryans is a pro's pro. And, I've heard great things about D'Amico Ryans too. So yeah, I give a shout out to them and all that. Kyle, what about your player videos? Did you quit on that? So I never quit on it. What happened was I ended up getting very busy. So busy, in fact, that I completely forgot about it. Not up until now, but like recently. So I'll leave it up to you guys, because I don't think just dropping like 30-something videos over the next week or two is the right approach here for those preview videos. Would you guys rather have me do select preview videos on the defensive side of the ball, or do you want me to do an entire defensive preview video? So if you want the separate videos, those would be like, we're talking the starters only and maybe key players. So maybe 11 to, like around 11. Or do you want me to do an entire defense video? So we got, well, actually, I mean, it's 2024, and I'm telling you to drop in the comment section and not starting a poll. So let's do which video project do I do? Entire defense, individual starters on defense. And there we go. So yeah, participate in that poll. Let me know. I'll be monitoring that throughout the rest of this stream. And the winner of that poll will be what I do. So whenever this stream ends, and it'll end pretty soon, we're at the 40-minute mark. I'm going to try to keep these to an hour or below. Not during the regular season. They'll probably go to 2 hours and what have you. But, until the regular season, we'll see. We will see. I will say, though, it's wicked hard to walk away when you, especially during the regular season, when you have over 1,000 people watching, they're like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Kidding me? I don't want to just skimp out on 1,000 people. I mean, I feel the same way about 233, which we currently have. Which, by the way, we're not at 100 likes yet. Let's do that. Hit that thumbs up button. More Dodger content. There will be no Dodger content because I don't watch the Dodgers. I really don't watch baseball that much outside of the Yankees because I cover them and they're my favorite team. You are absolutely right, Alex. I got too much Black Myth Wukong to play. Street Fighter 6. Yeah, the Shohei 40 for 40 was awesome. A 40-40 season. How about that? The Rockies just blew out the Yankees, so I'm not. I just watched both my teams lost the same day. How about that? The Rams and the Yankees. Although the Rams doesn't matter. Yankees it does. So it looks like the entire defense is winning this poll right now. So that's what I see. So guys, any final thoughts? I'll be wrapping up the live stream. I said everything I wanted to get out. We'll have the 53-man roster video tomorrow. But any final things you want answered? I am absolutely ready for Kansas football, Edwin. You don't know. You do know because you just... But yes, absolutely. They're going to the playoff this year. You heard it here first. The playoff went to 12 games. So, no, I don't think they're going to be a top 4 team. But I think they'll be a top 12 team. Yeah. What I think about Verse getting pancaked by Guyton, that was a tough one. BC, KU won. They went 9-3 last year, I believe. Was it 9-4? I don't know. Yeah, 9-4 because they were 8-4 and then they won the playoff game. So they're not going 3-9. No chance. Dominic asks, you think the Lions are going to play dirty again? Is water wet? Is Brock Purdy still an industry plant? Is water wet? Oh, man. I'll just keep throwing that out there. Lawrence says, I miss the days when it was 20 of us in here because we got to have conversations with you. There was something very cool about that. But I'll tell you right now, I definitely appreciate that time, Lawrence, especially because, the OG people I'm a little, I'm definitely closer to. And what I mean by that, I mean no disrespect to anybody, but Lawrence, you have my number. Alex, we've been friends. Obviously, we've gamed together. Jack, Falco, Edwin is an OG in here. Like I have a lot of new since. There's so many people, I can't name everybody, but I have a lot of like OG people that have been here since like the beginning of all this. And they clearly thought this is Tyler's one of them. They clearly thought that like this was going to be bigger than I did. Cause it's funny, for years, my dad was always telling me, you got to start a YouTube channel. And I was just doing downtownrams.com and I was just doing the audio and the writing. And he's like, you need to, you need to actually do video on YouTube. And I was like, I don't know. Jack is definitely, Jack 42, definitely. But yeah, I just, I was like, I don't know. And then I finally decided to. I finally put the money down, got a good camera and everything. So, that was what it was all about. First time you're actually watching the live. I appreciate you, Steven. Yeah, I mean, these are the vibes, It's not, see, like when people are like, oh, I'll see you on ESPN someday. I'm like, I appreciate that, but you won't. And it's nothing against ESPN, but like, that's just not really that's not my thing. Like, this is what I want to do. If I have my pick of the litter, I want to do this. I want to be like a YouTuber. I want to have my shows that I do. I want to be freelance. It's why, like, right now with Gary Jr. and, Gary and I, we're doing Yankees Unloaded. Like, this is what I want to do. But I always appreciate those comments. I mean, that's, it's nice of you guys to throw that out there. I need to say hi. Of course I will, Tyler. I'm going to let everybody know where they can find me, and I'm just going to try to meet as many people as possible. And if you ever see me, like you see me at the stadium, just say, be like, hey, I mean, I got that at MetLife. I could not believe that. That was the first moment where I was like, I'm not famous, but I might actually have some popularity. Because someone had asked me that and everything, but, it's funny. It's just, I don't know. It's like, so how popular are you? I'm like, I'm not that popular. I bet you nobody here is going to recognize me. And then sure enough, I had people coming up to me asking me to take pictures with them and stuff at the stadium at MetLife. Cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. The first live was fire back in the day. Hey, appreciate you, Ashton. Yeah, I mean, I love doing live streams. I do. And, I still like doing my videos, but my videos are less engaging, obviously. It's so much better to do a live stream and be able to actually talk to people. And, even when I'm not like directly answering what you're asking, like we're still hanging out. That's how I feel. I feel like this is a hangout sesh, And then it really feels that way when you start bringing on people for the call-ins. So, Mark, hello, Jake. Long time no see. Glad to see you still giving us Rams fans great content. I've been here since the beginning with you, man. Here's to many more years, bro. Mark, thank you. I have seen you for a long time, so I know you've been here. I appreciate that. Joakim, I see you there as well. Another one that's been here for a while. And of course, there's probably people that have been here for a while that have changed their names, that have different avatars. My brain is also mush at this point, so never take offense if I can't remember, because I probably do remember. It's just in that very moment. Alex knows, just warning y'all, when Dragon Ball Sparking Zero comes out, there may be a dip in Jake appearances. I don't know. He's going to manage the Rams, Yankees, golf, and DBZ all together. Alex just knows me so well. But no, I'll never let video games into ever cut into my job. So I can't wait for that to come out. That game comes out on my birthday. I do have early access, so I'll get that way before. Rod, yes. Takeover, yes. Michael, you guys have been here for a while, so yes, I've definitely have seen you. But yeah, I mean, I'll never let video games take over never cut into my job. And this is my job. So, Just know that. But I might stream a little bit on Kick. Maybe start doing that a little bit more. Who knows? This is on Kick. I totally forgot to set up the title, but it is what it is. We're going to get more into Kick during the season when I'm doing those breakdowns. Couldn't do a breakdown if I wanted to. People are wondering, hey, when are you going to do a film breakdown? Well, I can't do it right now because for whatever reason, and hopefully they fix it, NFL Plus is awful. It's dog water. I can't use it on my computer. I've tried 3 different browsers and it's not working. So, not going to be able to do that, So waiting for the regular season. Hopefully they fix it. If not, no idea. Rams, let's go. Thank you so much for the 10. With the kickoff rule, tackling is so important since there is no backfield defense. One bad tackle and it's a touchdown. Are you nervous for the Rams? We've had problems wrapping up tackles in the past. I am not, and here's why. And that's a great question. Thank you so much for the 10. Rams, let's go. Look at the way they tackled in preseason. Not today, because these guys aren't making the roster for the most part. Some of them will. Not everyone, but some of them will today, but not most of them. The thing is, the last 2 preseason games, that's some of the best tackling I've seen from the Rams, period. If that is a barometer of where they are as a tackling team, they're going to be in the driver's seat. They're going to be so good on special teams. And then they have guys like Omar Speights that are going to make an impact. So very excited to see it. What's up, So Sick? How you doing? I really hope I can get in on the gaming streams today with you, Jack and Alex. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when the next one will be. No idea. I do still game. I just don't. The problem is, guys, when I liked streaming those, and yeah, I like making money off playing video games, but I realized if you monetize everything in your life, then you're not going to have anything to actually just do as like for fun. And, you need, whether you realize it or not, you are human and you can burn out. And I've been trying this whole, because basically I cover the Rams, as you guys know. I do my Rams content, and then at night, Gary is on a 3-hour time difference. I do my Yankee shows, and we've done 117. Guys, get this. Some of you might not care, but hear me out. Alexis and I have done 535, I believe, Downtown Rams podcasts since 2019. Gary and I are already up to 117 because we do one after every game. So the point I'm making here is that it's a lot of work. And so I've just realized that I really need to do a better job of managing my burnout so I have enough energy to give you guys the best content throughout the year. And I've burned out every single year. And now what a burnout is for me is that one day I just shut down. I'll pass out and I'm in a coma for a day. It's happened. It happens at least once a year. So I'm trying to avoid that. And obviously it has some side effects after that because, yeah, okay, coma for a day, wake up, and then I'm demotivated the next day, and then it kind of bleeds in, and I try to get through it, but my content kind of suffers. I don't think it's as great. You guys are dropping the comments below like, yeah, this is so great. Thank you so much for the video. And I'm sitting there like, I didn't think this was my best video, but that's cool. So yeah, I'm really just trying to put out my best content, trying to manage my burnout, be an adult. So that's really, where that is. But appreciate you guys, all the kind words and everything. And guys, I know I say this a lot. I've been saying this quite a few times. The memberships, I need to overhaul them, okay? We need to make the memberships fair. We need to give out things that make sense. So I'm going to overhaul the memberships before the season starts. Giveaways, going to be doing quite a few giveaways this year because let's just say this year should be putting us in good shape to do those giveaways. So giveaways, keep an eye out for that. I know someone was like, hey, why did you pull the giveaway? Because hardly anybody signed up for it. It was during like June. So I pulled it because I'm going to bring it back right before the season. How you sign up for the memberships? So the link is in the description below. You can sign up. I'm doing a full overhaul of the memberships. So if you want to sign up now, there will be like a prorated thing where you can, sign up. But yeah, it's in the description below. But yeah, that's that. I mean, you know, I try to keep it real with you guys, and as you know, sometimes I do overpromise. It happens. I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything, but I always try to overdeliver as well. So that's a big thing with me too, is that I like to try and get everything out as possible. There's the membership link if you want to do that. Oh, also click join. Thank you. That's simple enough. God, I'm such an idiot. Are you kidding me? Join has been chilling there. And I'm just like telling people to click a link. No wonder why. Oh my God. Well, anyway, BC, thank you. Oh, nice. Jayhawks, Sun Devils. I had no idea Join was there. No idea. None whatsoever. I'm an idiot. Total idiot. So, you live and you learn. Jake has been living. Yes. Yes. This is absolutely true. You guys are bullying me now. I didn't know. I had no idea. It was chilling there. Man. But I am ready for the season because you might not realize it, but this stuff emanates a lot of heat. Like 1 monitor, 2 monitor, 3 monitor, 4 monitor, 5 monitor. A lot of heat. Steven, thank you for becoming a bronze member. Appreciate you. So, a lot of heat, but I got my fan. I don't know can you guys hear my fan? I mean, I have a really expensive microphone, so you can't hear my fan, but I'm sure you probably still hear it. Can you hear it now? I'm very curious. I mean, it's kind of... So I got a super quiet fan, so it said on Amazon. It's not super quiet. I don't know what people are talking about. Definitely not super quiet. But it does cool the room. And the room, even when the AC's on, and I have 3 freaking vents, it looks like. At least 2. I don't feel it because I'm in this fortress of heat, even during the winter. So we'll see. Rams, let's go. Thank you for becoming a silver member. Guys, just remember, I am overhauling those memberships, okay? Because they gotta be fair, okay? And I don't think they're fair right now because, I mean, the shout-outs and stuff. I wish YouTube did a better job with the shout-outs, but we're going to figure it out. Like I said, this is still my preseason too. So that's why we're not doing call-ins. We also have to figure out the call-ins. Should that maybe be a membership? Does that make sense? The only problem I have with that being a membership is this. If call-ins become a membership, okay? If call-ins become a membership, understand this. If 300 people sign up for that membership, I mean, I'll feel like I'm taking people's money by not doing a call-out. So, yeah, I like, it just sounds like that would be insane. Because then I feel like I would have to do, because like right now, I think for call-ins during the season, I'm going to have an allotted period of time to do the call-in. See, okay, Lakers Nation has members-only live streams where fans can StreamYard into the video like a guest on the show. That's cool. Yeah, that would be interesting. You like how it is? I'm still going to overhaul it. I just want to change some things around. I'm also going to rename them, make them Rams related. The reason why it was bronze, silver, gold, I mean, it sounds super corporate. Sounds like Amazon or like Netflix, which I don't want. I want to rename them so they're kind of fun and they're related to the Rams, because keep in mind, guys, this is actually the first year. We started, I want to say end of last year, but this is the first year. Keep this in mind. No, the Discord would never become member only locked. I will, because that would, no. So Falco, I've always been anti-paid Discord for as long as I can remember. I've always said that. So that would never happen. My Discord would never be paid. I mean, I've made multiple tweets. I'd be the biggest hypocrite ever. I made multiple tweets like shitting on people who make paid Discords. I think paid Discords are absolutely lame. I think they are the lamest thing ever. So I will never do that. Oh, membership gets first dips. Okay. Not guaranteed, but it helps. That I could, okay. But I mean, you know, I don't know what that would look like, but that's interesting. Yes, Downtown Rams Fantasy Football. I remember that. So yeah, Discord would never be paid. You would never have to pay to be in the Discord, ever. Because that would be insane. I hate that so much. Oh, you looking at my merchandise now? The hoodies? I don't even think I have any of those hoodies. I think I wanted to get one, but I just never got around to it. Maybe I'll get one when it gets cold. DTR membership fantasy league? Interesting. There was something I was gonna say, and I totally forgot because Falco was like, that becomes member. Does that mean the entire Discord member locked down the road? Like, absolutely would never do paid. And I saw that and totally lost my mind because I was like, that makes me upset just even thinking about people doing that. Oh yeah. So what I was saying was with this channel is that the reality of it is I didn't know what it was going to be, guys. I didn't. And you've probably heard this before. My channel started out as kind of it's my channel. It's why it's called Jake Ellenbogen. It's a Rams channel, but I'm also way too stubborn, and maybe there's a little ego involved, to get rid of my full name. Full disclosure, that's how I feel. I want to build my brand based on my name. I feel very good about my name. Ellenbogen means a lot to me. I've had some amazing people that have been a part of my bloodline that I want to, in a sense, honor. And so, yeah, I would never change my name or anything like that. Would never have like a Mr. Beast type of, you know, thing or anything like that. Because I don't need J.K. Bogan is my, you know, screen name or whatever. But it's not that will never be. No one will ever be like, yeah, J.K. Bogan did that. Like, no, it's Jake Ellenbogen, Jake, whatever. But no, I mean, the memberships need to be overhauled because the memberships were based on the fact that I used to have bronze, silver, gold. Well, I have them now because I didn't want to make them Rams-centric, essentially, because it wasn't a Rams-centric channel. Go back and look at my second ever video on this channel. I'll never delete it. It was a 1,000-view video about why LaMelo Ball should go #1 overall. And then my third video was about the New York Giants being the best team in the NFC East. Yeah, 15. So no idea why I love 15 so much. I mean, I think it's Thurman Munson. I love 15. I think 13 was always my favorite growing up, because Kurt Warner and Alex Rodriguez were like my favorite players. And I liked 48 because of Jimmy Johnson. And I liked 28 because of Marshall Faulk. And, you know, I like 24 because of Kobe. But yeah, like I always loved 15. And 15 is just it. October 11th is when I was born. So it's not like, you know, I was born on October 15th. But yeah, I think the way, like when I look at that number, that looks like the best number. Tutu Atwell had the number. Demarcus Robinson currently has the number. I wish Atwell had it. Honestly, I loved Atwell with 15. I mean, if I could have anybody have that number right now, it'd probably be Whittington, but I do like him on number 88. And I loved 99 because of AD and Aaron Judge. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. I mean, we're talking about maybe two of the most dominant players in the history of sports. But yeah, 13 was my favorite. It was A-Rod and Kurt Warner. And then 15 was recent. I want to say 15 became my favorite number within the last 7 years. And I have no idea as to why. It's not like a player reason, although I love Thurman Munson because I'm a big baseball history nut. And I just think, you know, the world of Thurman Munson, and I hate so much the way he passed away. But, you know, I know Carmelo wore 15, and I was never really a Carmelo Anthony fan. So, yeah, I don't really know why I like 15 so much, if I'm being honest with you. It's just, yeah, I don't know. No idea. Doesn't Patrick Mahomes wear 15? That was my, it's funny, my two biggest hits. Vince Carter was pretty badass. My two biggest hits on any sort of, actually, that's not true. My three. There were, so the three biggest hits that I had on players that I thought were going to end up being stars, legitimate stars. Aaron Donald, thought the Rams should have drafted him at 2. So Aaron Donald was 1. Aaron Judge, the Yankees had 3 first-round picks, and they got one of them for Nick Swisher because they lost him. And I wanted them to pick Aaron Judge with the first one. They passed on him for Eric Jagiello out of Notre Dame. And then the next one, they got Ian Clarkin, and they picked Aaron Judge with the third of the 3 first-round picks. And I was just so glad they got him because I thought he'd be Giancarlo Stanton. I didn't think he'd be this. And then Patrick Mahomes. I wrote an article that I said the Rams should trade Jared Goff so they can trade up and get Patrick Mahomes. Like, I wanted Mahomes so bad. He was my number 1 quarterback in that draft. Thought he was like a Brett Favre clone. So, yeah, those are the 3 guys that I've hit on better than anybody. I guess George Kittle is definitely up there because I thought he was going to be a star. But those are the guys I hit on better than any of the other players that I've hit on or not hit on, obviously. So, yeah, I think that'll do it. We're rambling at this point, but I just want to let you guys know, yeah, we'll be doing some overhauls on the memberships. Nothing too big. We'll still keep the $1, membership and everything, but just adding some other things and renaming and what have you. But, yeah, I think that is going to do it. So appreciate you guys so very much. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, special thanks to BetUS for sponsoring this live stream. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I won't see you live, but you'll see me tomorrow when I drop the 53-man roster projection. So you guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.